You can do anything if you set your goal, acquire the knowledge to achieve it, and without fail, do the work day in and day out. Patreon members, I will be posting for you this afternoon the weekly vertical crossovers on the S&P 500 for this week. Please look that list over. Do your due diligence. Maybe find one or two to potentially practice trade tomorrow. That is one of the big benefits you get. I know services that charge 2 and 3 times what our $30 a month lowest Patreon support is for lists that don't come anywhere near what ours do. So I really want to encourage you, use that resource. You are supporting us and we appreciate it. We do the work to provide you with those weekly vertical crossovers. Please use them. It is a great opportunity to practice, because perfect practice makes perfect. Let's jump into these charts. Everything down for the day except gold. What's going on with the S&P 500? Well, my friends, you can see where the volume is. Will we get to average volume tomorrow? We could. Kept hoping this would turn into a red spinning top, but I kept telling you it is an election year. It is the month before the election. And do you think the party in charge is going to let the market really crash? That could happen, but it'd be hard put to happen. They'd do everything, pull out all the stops to keep that from occurring. So it's just hanging on as we look at things. Now, there could be some crazy exuberance depending on who wins the election. The market could just go crazy, or it could also just plummet like a rock. Now, if you put a gun to my head and told me I had to do something, I would say probably the latter of those two. But I'm not a betting man. I'm a man that places my money in my practice trades based upon, well, I do real money trades too, but here we talk about practice trades because we're not a stock calling service, we're an education firm. Where would I put my practice trade? Well, I wouldn't. I would wait and see what the market does. There's always time to do the right thing. Oh, I love that quote. Always time to do the right thing. It's the dumb things that you do quickly. Hey, buddy, watch this. I used to love those redneck jokes. I grew up in the mountains, so I'm a bit of a hillbilly. Anyway, it's always fun. Famous last words of a dummy. Hey, dude, watch this. That's the stupid stuff that happens. We don't want to be that way. So let's see where we are on the S&P as this week continues to move along. We look at, we're just right there on that 2-day chart. We did have 2 dojis and a spinning top, and we did have an up candle sitting right there on the high mark. We do have the wick going above. We can see on the half day, pushed up on Wednesday, and sort of, at the end of the day on Thursday, fell back in, or right there on the line. Didn't have a lot of volume throughout the day. So again, we'll wait, watch, and see. We're ambivalent on where things are right now. What's going on with the Qs? A little bit more of a push up here. You can see where it's gone above the topper here. Now on the Qs, unlike the S&P 500, the Qs topped out back on the 8th of July, and it hasn't gotten near that yet, or very close to it at all. And we went ahead and took where the top was back, the prior high back on the 19th of August. And again, we've seen it slowly pushing up through that. So down for the day, 0.11%. Volume not high at all on the Nasdaq 100. Not high. That's on the weekly or the 2-day or the half day. So we will keep our eye on things as the week continues to move along and as we move toward election day, not thinking a whole lot's going to happen on the markets. Now, we are in, of course, we've been short since things rotated over. We had, sort of the close to the, we had the interim high with average volume. Then we had things rotate over. We had a dead week, and then things sort of started taking off, and we called short on that first week as things started to move down. It looked like the market had pretty much died off. And of course, our short has continued to run quite nicely. above average volume last week are already at average volume this week. Nice big red down candle below on the 2-day and the half-day. Things looking quite decent for us in that down play. Now, those of you who are new, you're saying, why would you buy something in a practice trade that's going down? Because we have an inverse fund here. Tango, Bravo, Foxtrot. That is the ProShares short of 20-year U.S. government bonds. And our jumping in point, the worst spot to jump in that jump in week. Oh, I just saw this. Let's go ahead and move this over. We'll go ahead and set that trend line up for us. Worst spot to jump into was the high of 22.27. That was 2 weeks ago. The high so far, 23.21. So again, not bad, up about $1. Not bad in a week and a half, 2 weeks. So anyway, not bad. We'll continue to keep an eye on things, particularly when it's only a $22 ETF. What's going on with gold? Well, gold up today. It had pulled back for stronger. It had been sort of tracking down, and then we had 2 days of plummeting movement. We talked about this yesterday where it looked like it was probably bottoming. And of course, it moved back up from that 0.73%. Now, what I keep hoping, I don't know if we're going to get to it. I was hoping with all this volume as it topped off that we would have our interim high, then a dead week where it didn't quite go as high, and then a red spinning top. It's not a red spinning top yet. As we focus on that, it's a green spinning top. If it had gone down today, it probably would be a red spinning top, and we need more volume to get us up there. I was hoping that we would see a classic weekly vertical crossover going down that would let us short gold. There is no good inverse ETF for gold. There is one, GDZ. That would be, DGZ, Delta Golf Zulu. Problem with it is illiquid. You got a big spread between the bid and the ask. And of course, we don't like buying things that are illiquid because you have to make up that spread before you can make any money. So the minute you go in, you're way down. And if it goes against you, you're screwed. So what do? We practice trade puts. And again, if you don't know how to buy and sell options, you need to become a Patreon member. Any of the 3 levels. And the first thing you'll get is Options Made Simple, the Charting Wealth Way. We think it's the best training on the market, in the market, on how to mess around with options. We keep it simple because simple is always the best way. So anyway, keep that in mind if you're interested in learning about options. Now, so what's gold up to? Not up to average volume. We see the volume decreasing on us, so we will keep an eye on things and see if maybe tomorrow things roll over hard on gold. If they do, we might get a trigger. So pay attention as the day wanes on the morrow, on Friday. What's up with Bitcoin? Turning from a green spinning top to a red spinning top. Down for the day 2.19%. It was green yesterday, remember? Well, it's down now into the red. And again, I keep wanting Bitcoin. You see what it's done since it hit its peak. It runs up, falls off, runs up, falls off, runs up, falls off, runs up, falls. And look what it's doing. If you draw an arrow here, it's just trending down. So we're waiting for that trend to end. That is to bend. When it does, I just hope that we have a great signal. That is an interim low with good volume and then a turnaround with good volume with a green spinning top after a nice red down candle, a beautiful green spinning top with volume. And I'm just pointing to those kinds of symbols, not that this is not them at all as far as a setup, but that's what I want to see. And when that occurs simultaneously, the red down candle with a nice wick on the bottom, the green spinning top, both with good volume, at least average, if not more, then we pull the trigger on an up move. At some point, that will be coming, I sure hope, as Bitcoin gets more... I'm hoping gets more stable. That is where we are, folks. We so appreciate hearing from you. CW@chartingwealth.com is our email address. Don't hesitate to reach out to us anytime you have questions, problems, concerns. God bless. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World headquarters.